Serious, man. You cannot be serious.
Well done, Susie. Now, Duck, you're back
Yes.
and could I just say, we've been watching you here down the line. You're grappling with domestic duties there. If you have to leave at any stage to tend to your kids who I think are maybe a bit ill, got the flu, you just leave. I can carry on and speak about things you mightn't want to speak about. So don't worry. If you need to step aside and go and handle things, that's fine. But you're back. You're back from Siberia or wherever you were. Where are you?
I'm in New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm in New York.
remarkably light clothing for the middle of winter.
Yeah. No, New York. New York.
Oh no, it's summer, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is
Sam.
too.
You're talking about it's New York, or it could be in Kerry in Ireland,
Yeah,
County Kerry.
Yeah, speaking of New York and America, I was going to get Dickie from Muff on, Richard Wilson-Croft, but the time that I can get him on doesn't coincide with us. I was going to speak, and I am going to speak to you. I'm giving you fair warning later on about the great Donald Trump and what he's doing. He is extraordinary, and if you don't get on board with what he's doing, and this country could just take a good lesson about how to run a country. Anyhow, we're not doing that at the minute, so we're going to get on to. I don't know. I'm telling you what's in and also, Duck, we're going to mention our grand final morning breakfast. We've got all that set up, so we'll do that later as well. If you can stick around, maybe we'll do 2 segments. That's completely up to you, Duck.
Yeah, no, we'll probably just do one solid one today, Samuel, just because I've got to get these nitwits off to this school in New York.
Very good, Duck. Well, first of all right. So I'm just the state of crisis in the AFL. The umpiring is in a state of flux. I keep watching. The umpires treat the players like they're robots, that they don't make any mistakes. They sometimes make mistakes when they don't mean it because it's a contact sport played at a pretty high pace. And the handling of the playing personnel in the AFL is in crisis level with the umpires. It is cringeworthy. People watching our game will say, what is that for? And they look for kicks. They just look for every opportunity to blow the whistle, and it is killing our game.
Yeah, well, we've been saying that for a little while. Yeah, I keep saying it's from the top. It's not just the umpires. The rules continue to change, and their interpretation has changed because of what they get told from the top. I will say that just having my eye over the last couple of nights, the footy shows, and Eddie, Ross Lyon was one of my favourite coaches. He was on, I think he was on with Eddie. I think it's one of Eddie's shows. But he was, when you know that the biggest topics in footy, and let's remember, we're 2 weeks out from the finals. 2 weeks, that's all. They have a bye, and then we're into the finals. And all that anyone can talk about is players' contracts and where they're leaving and where they're going and what they might do, or whether they'll leave next year. Now, if that's the topic of the conversation, that tells you that the footy hasn't been all that great. There is a greater divide now than there's ever been. I will say this though, it is still I was going to try and use that word. What is it? The medications? How do you say that?
Machinations? I don't know. Machinations.
Yes, the machinations. The machinations. Is
machinations,
it?
Machinations.
Yes. Well, you come on. You're the English teacher.
Well, I'd say machinations, but people say machinations. Yep.
Okay, the machinations that can occur from this point on is huge, because there are sides. Brisbane 1 week ago were in the top 4, entrenched. They can miss the 8 if they drop the last 2 games. It's fascinating in terms of the top 8. So once not the teams out, obviously the Bulldogs can still get in, et cetera, but those top teams, what can happen, where they can go to in the next 2 weeks, whether they win or lose, is huge. Collingwood sat on top of the ladder, Sam, nearly for the whole year. Their last 4 or 5 weeks, they could drop all the way to the bottom, or maybe not even make the 8. I mean, it is quite incredible the amount of wins you're going to need to finish top 4, and then obviously the bottom part of the 8.
And the low standard of the games keeps going, and the sides that get to the top just play bad football better than the other people who play bad football. They do not swing the ball down to the people who win the games. And I know that we've got Mr. the man down at Geelong,
Jeremy Cameron. He could kick 100. He kicked four goals, 5 he kicked on the weekend.
Yeah, and no one is ever accountable for Jeremy, and good luck to him. No one's ever accountable to anyone, and this is where the game decline. It goes into the depths because we tap the ball around the back line and then we tap it down through the forward line, and no one ever tries to play the game any differently. And the sides that are on top are the sides that play bad football better than the other people who play bad football.
Now
they're not exciting the games. They're exciting because they're close. They're not entertaining. They're not, and they're.
Now you played with a gun footballer.
Hey,
Ford, you also sold hairdressing products with him. The great Doug Wade. You two masculine men sold hairdressing products. Now, did he kick 100 while he was at Geelong, or was that at North? He kicked 100 while he was at North. I know he kicked 100, didn't he? He did kick 100.
Yes, he's kicked. I don't know if he's kicked 100. He's kicked the fourth most highest number of goals ever.
Yeah, I think he definitely kicked 100. I reckon it. I don't know whether it was at North or at Geelong, but what I'm about to say is,
it wasn't at North.
Yeah, what I'm about to say is that is it a distraction because as the footy shows do, they're going through all the vision and everything else, and they're passing the ball to him now when maybe there are better options. Now, they're playing weak opposition at the moment. Now, because they've been playing the weaker teams, you can get away with that. They're still having big wins. Jeremy's kicking his goals. Can they just flick the switch and stop, and all of a sudden start using the right? Is this a bit of a distraction for the Cats? How do you see it?
What, that they're looking for Jeremy Cameron?
Well, no, Sam.
They're focusing on him.
They're trying to chip the ball to him at times where there are other options that are more free.
Well, would you think that would be about direction from the bench, from the coaching box, not criticising Chris Scott? I'm going to say this again. The most overrated profession in sport is coaching AFL football. Because what
about basketball?
Well, that's fair enough. But
the basketball plays. The tail wags the dog. The tail wags the dog when it comes to basketball. The superstars tell the coach.
The reason I say this about coaching is that the coaches have nothing to do with injuries, umpiring decisions, illness, suspension, personal problems, goal kicking, that's not in there. They have no control over that once a game starts. And if someone is directing the ball to Jeremy Cameron because he's got 3 people hanging off him, how about a message goes out, don't direct the ball to Jeremy Cameron. We have another avenue attack. Have a game plan. I'm saying, I don't know why they don't just appoint Michael Voss for another 4 years at Carlton. What does it matter if you change the coach? What if Nathan Buckley gets the job at Carlton? How will he be any different? What will he do that will make his players have any more nous as to how to play that game of football?
Well, Nathan Buckley's the favourite for the Melbourne job, Sam. They're saying.
Well, I'm sorry I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, and the board at Carlton. I know the board at Carlton.
The incumbent, but they're thinking
they have got behind him. The board at Carlton. Now, what do you know?
Definitely.
No, so that's what I mean. You've been in footy for long enough. Simon Goodwin, my understanding is, Simon Goodwin was going for walks with the new CEO every morning, and he had the backing of the board the week before. He got told that no, nothing was happening, and then 1 week later they have an 86-point win and he's gone. The Carlton board had a marathon meeting the other night and a resounding unanimous decision to keep Vossi on, which I'm glad they've come to that instead of just thinking that the coach is always the issue rather than other stuff that's going on.
They've just sacked the football director.
So that would generally lend itself to he's in trouble if the board's come out and said a resounding resounding,
Just sacked the
unanimous.
football director, haven't they?
Right. Graham Wright is about to take over.
No, Carlton have just sacked the football director.
Have they? Who's that?
Sue's looking her up.
They're about to take. Graham Wright's about to start.
Not Graham Wright, it's someone else. Elliot, is it?
Brad Lynch.
Who?
Brad Lloyd.
Brad Lloyd.
Oh, Lloydie's been sacked, has he?
Jeez.
Oh, well, he's been there for a while. Lloydie's been there for a while.
God, strike me. Why can't hang on. Brad Lloyd has just been sacked as the footballer. He's been there for 7 years. So they're starting, and it'll probably end up with Voss, and then they'll get someone else in if it's not. Why would Nathan Buckley be any better at Melbourne? Whether you think he's good or not, why would he be any better at Melbourne? If Melbourne had beaten whoever they played the other day, who'd they play? Footscray, didn't they?
Yeah, no, they were quite competitive the other day, the week after.
Why were they competitive? Because they changed the coach.
That always happens, Sam.
That's
There's
right.
a lot of
and
times.
what an indictment on the players.
Correct. I concur with that. It happens a lot.
So I'll tell you who the most successful sporting coach in football or rugby. You ever heard of a bloke called Alan Jones? The broadcaster.
I do.
The broadcaster.
Yes,
I
know.
Who's in a degree of spot or bother because of some various nefarious things they reckon he's done off the field. He coached the Wallabies. I don't reckon if you look at Alan Jones, he's ever played football ever or sport in his life. And he is a man who had charisma. He got a good game plan. He could speak to the players. He was articulate. What does it matter if you're an ex-AFL player? If you've stayed at a club, if you've coached at a club for more than a decade, you will have success. Look at Chris
Fagan?
No, Chris Scott. Good on him.
Chris Scott.
Mark Thompson won a couple of premierships. Kevin Sheedy stayed for 27 years. If you stay at a club long enough, someone will eventually give you some players that will give you some glory. And the coaching, you keep changing the coaches. Why do we keep changing the coaches? How about we get someone to say, introduce a different style of play, or get some people to recruit some players that we need?
True. No, you make a lot of. Well, I've always said, Sam, players make coaches, not coaches make players.
Of course they do.
Yeah. Hey, I do want to talk about a little bit about how do you go when you go to a country's non-English speaking countries? How do you go when you're trying to get around and you just can't communicate?
No.
Does that frustrate you, given that you're an English scholar?
Well, of course it frustrates you, but because when in Rome, do as the Romans do. It's up to, we criticise people when we go into restaurants or you go into shops and you give an order and they can't understand what you're talking about. Say, wouldn't you think that employ some people that can speak English? So it's the same on the other side of the world, but generally people can understand. They can pick up the odd word, no matter what country you're in, they can pick up the odd word that sounds similar to what you're talking about, and with your hand gestures and your eye contact, you can eventually make yourself vaguely understood, can't you?
Yeah, well, I struggle with it. I think there's got to be an element of being able to communicate. And I will say this on the way back, and I've never experienced this before. I probably have experienced, but never been upset with it before. But when you get on a plane and there's a heap of kids and they're screaming and the baby's crying and your 6-year-old's carried on like a pork chops because he's got a headache, and everyone's up in arms and everyone around can hear everything. And guess whose family it was?
Yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
You just want to bury your head in the pillow and make out the.
And were people shouting you in a foreign language to control your kids?
Well, that's probably the one time you're happy with the language barrier, because you don't know what they're saying to you anyway, and you're just able to ignore. But No, we're probably the loudest on the plane. On
I
that
was going
plane
to
over.
say, if they start shouting, you'd always take them out onto the footpath. If you're in the plane, it's a little difficult. You could take them down the back and lock them in the toilet.
It is very difficult. I'm just hanging on. I'm just trying. What's this trailer?
Right, you do that, Duck. I'll just chat on about something else. You're right.
You're right. Yes, yes, yes.
So is there anyone? What do you still on sport? Did you watch the Vixens beat the Fever in the netball? They beat
I
them
do.
59-58. I actually watched it and saw that very charming woman or person, the captain, Kate Maloney, gave a great speech after they won. And I thought that I'll tell you that the Duck, because you love all those those second tier sports, and I noticed their.
I do like the netball. I love the netball.
Do you?
I do.
Oh well, you so much so you didn't watch it.
No, well, I didn't know it was on. I'm a little bit.
That's right. No one knows it's on. And the AFWL starting. I noticed they've been showing highlights of the women. The highlights they show are very, very entertaining. The highlights: women kicking the ball long, taking marks, running through packs. I might gravitate to the AFWL until the main game picks up.
Tomorrow night they start, Sam.
Well, I might just tune in just to see if they're playing a more entertaining brand of football than the AFL.
Well, that'd give us something to talk about next week because I'm looking forward to seeing how fit they've come back and how much the game's improved. Because as I've said, it improves year on year, and I just get the feeling that what is it now, 9 years or something, or 10 years, 8 or 9 years or something. It's been going, so I think that the standard is just going up. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they've come back.
So congratulations to Brett Ralph. Do you know who he is? Brett Ralph is a CEO of the Melbourne Storm. And the Melbourne Storm and Brett Ralph has decided that the Melbourne Storm will depart from the Welcome to Country and they will embrace Australia Day and advance Australia. And this has incurred the wrath of Uncle whoever it is and Auntie whoever it is that put on the bear skins and smack sticks together and light leaves and want to dance around before the games. He has said, no, we're not doing that anymore. He said, what we're going to do, he said, we're going to celebrate Australia. Isn't it great that the top sporting body in the rugby league, the NFL, will adopt that approach to the ridiculous, nonsensical charade of people standing out welcoming you to a country that they haven't been in as long as you have?
Is that just come out again now? Because I remember you mentioning that.
Yes.
Has that just been reignited, that story?
Yes, and Auntie's, the woman who dresses up in the bearskin said, oh, no, this is not right. Which I got a feeling she can see her stipend just disappearing overnight. The incredible amount of money we pay all these people to light sticks and bang.
No, we're not in Canada too. We're not. I don't think it's bearskin. We don't have black bear and brown bear.
They wear skins of something, like badger skins, or they skin kangaroo skins. They might. Anyhow,
I would say anyway. It wouldn't be bear.
Yeah,
unless I don't think koala.
It might be a koala bear.
No. It wouldn't be bear.
What? Anyhow,
it wouldn't be
whatever
bear.
Skins. Oh, they could be. I don't know what. It could be just rugs that they make up themselves. Anyhow, it's great that they have decided to embrace Australia. Not to some made-up pageant that we all stand and feel cringeworthy while someone delivers this thing. The First Nations people, if you weren't here in 1900 when we were made a nation, if you were here before it, all you were was a previous resident, like everyone else, black or white. If you were here before 1900, you were a previous resident. If you were here in 1900, then you were a First Nations person. So if we could stop all the nonsense and respect everyone that's in this country. And the people that made it are the people who landed here in 1770, and the people who are here before them are great people as well, and we want to all get on and not divide people. And if you have a look at the governments going on, if you have a look at what does anyone who's running this country or state or the suburbs in Australia know anything? Has any of them got an IQ above their shoe size? Anthony Albanese has recognised Palestine when he doesn't. Hang on, when he doesn't
How can he
recognise.
recognise? How can he do that? What a that is.
Well, he thinks he's. But this is. He has recognized the state of Palestine when he doesn't recognize the government who is elected there. Hamas are the elected government, and he says, we'll recognize Palestine, but we're not recognizing the government that runs it. What is that? And he says that standing in front of 3 different flags: the Torres Strait Island flag, the Aboriginal flag, and the Australian flag. And people look at it and they say, always recognise, who is this man standing in front of 3 different flags? How about you stand in front of the flag that is the emblem of your nation? That's the Australian flag. What? You can't believe it. And then you have.
Why does the Australian Prime Minister have to recognise a state over there anyway? What's that for?
If he just concentrated on some of the things that aren't going well in this country, like everything.
Oh, thank you, rather than focusing on that.
And then you have the Victorian government. Oh, seriously, is there anyone with any intelligence? They spent $13 million making 40 different containers for people to put their machetes in. Did you know that?
No.
They've, you know how the council have the bins out. They've spent $13 million creating 14 bins, and they've said, if you have a machete, because machete crime is on the up and people are getting their arms slashed off and being attacked in shopping centres, put your machetes in these bins. Oh, my God.
Oh, are you serious?
Absolutely.
How many million? How many million for the bins?
Hang on. $13 million they've spent on 40 bins. And they're for people
who owns the bin? Who owns the bin company?
Walk up and put their machetes in.
Who owns the bin company?
What?
Who owns the bin company?
Oh, exactly. Probably it's a government lackey job that they hand out to their people who got their snouts in the trough. This is the government that is obsessed with the Yorok Commission about genocide and repatriation of things that happened 150 years ago with Indigenous people. If you could get the priorities of running the country properly, and then you have the Lord Mayor. How about this? The Lord Mayor of Melbourne wants to have 6 seasons. 6 seasons, not summer, winter, spring and autumn. He wants to add 2 other seasons in. Could he possibly concentrate on getting Melbourne up and running, getting litter, getting graffiti, getting the police to do that? But you can't believe, why doesn't he get onto the Mayan calendar, which was started?
What about Cooter was going to do all of that. He was going to clean up crime. He was going to take
I tell you what Cooter was going to do with...
He was going to give free coffee.
I'll tell you what Cooter was going to do with Sue Stanley. I was privy to these conversations because I heard them in the car. The Lord Mayor, Nick Rees, rang up Sue Stanley and asked her to be on the ticket so that she could have some health program to help the residents of Melbourne. He got one of his lackeys to give us some how to vote cards, which she distributed in the area, but thinking that, she'll help the ticket, because he wanted her to do some work to try and lift the rating of the health of people in the city. He got in, and has she or Cooter ever heard from them again? Ever? No, they are feckless weasels. They are shockers. And this is a man that wants to have 6 different seasons. Could he get on with doing something that might improve the stocks of the people who live in the central business district? I mean, you can't make all this shit up. And then I was on this before you came on this podcast 2 years ago. There was a woman, a large, fat, slovenly woman who used to camp on the boulevard on the Beaconsfield Parade outside the public toilets. She lay there for 2 years, has set up shop. She set up a house. People used to drop food and do a dry cleaning for her as you drove past. Now they finally got rid of her.
I think Jess might have done some shopping for her one time.
And now she's back. She's back there again as the. Could the Port Phillip Council go down there in a truck, scoop her up, and get rid of her again? She's going to use the public domain to lie, loll about, make it look untidy, the homeless. She's only got to incite all her friends to come down. We'll have a homeless community of people living on the only boulevard we have, which is Beaconsfield Parade. Why can you believe they let it go on? Could you believe they let it go on? Nick Rees won 6 seasons. The Australian government recognise a state where they don't recognise the government that runs it, and we have the councils just allowing people to loll all about gadflies, allowing people to loll all about.
Sam, that's where the government's got to step in more. The homelessness is a clear issue. So I agree. One thing that I do, and whether I'm down Chapel Street, Clarendon Street, Fitzroy Street, wherever it may be, and you see the homeless along there, and it saddens me. But if I see that they're smoking, and they're smoking cigarettes for about they're $50 a pack or whatever, then that just says to me that you're not going as bad as what you can't be lying around smoking cigarettes. They cost $50, don't they? $60 a pack.
60, they do. So Duck, this is why I'm going to say this again. If we had someone like Donald Trump, who has sent the National Guard into Washington, D.C., to curb the crime, the beatings, the hijackings, the pilferings, the ram raiding of the stores, he has sent the National Guard in, and now they're saying he's a dictator and he's become an emperor. Wouldn't you love to have him running this country and putting the fist on people who graffiti it, litter it, terrorize people? He is doing exactly what he was elected to do, and he is the greatest president ever. He will meet Putin and try and stop the Ukraine war. He stopped several wars in the first place, and he doesn't care, and he's got him on the run. He is fantastic.
Yes, I want to. Given that you're travelling around Australia, tell us a little. I hope you haven't sent Sue into croc-infested waters in the last couple of days, or in the last week. Last time we spoke, you sent Sue into some water which were croc-infested.
Yeah,
remember?
Yep.
Yes, you haven't done that in the last week.
We've pulled back a bit on that. We've pulled back.
Yeah. Okay. What are some of the little towns that you've gone through that you sort of say, well, this is real Australia? Have you found? I know you were obviously near Townsville, up through that way.
Just every town we go through is a bit of the great country we live in, and I'll tell you about the great country we live in. The Indigenous people who live in these towns are fantastic. They have their houses decorated with their Aboriginal art. They speak to you. They're happy. They're employed. They don't whinge. There's no signs up. They don't whinge about the lot they've got. They're very happy to speak to you, and we speak to them. And it's only when you get down to the social elites who think that they actually owe themselves something because of their conscience that they start ramping up all this bullshit down in the southern states about them and us and paying people reparation. We are in a country that has been developed by people who landed here, and everyone is joining in and enjoying the spoils of it. And all the people who whinge are the social elites, the top 5% in the country, who keep whinging about it because they might have their means of sustenance removed from them because they got their snouts in the trough.
Yeah, well, I
seriously,
can't.
I suppose you haven't done anything. I've just the amount of things that are so irrelevant. Imagine a Lord Mayor saying he wants to have 6. Why would you say we wanted to have 6 seasons in the city in Melbourne? Why would you bother doing that?
Well, some people say we have 6 seasons in a day. So that's just senseless.
And the government $13 million to put your machetes in. Who thinks that shit up?
I know.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How many have they collected? Do you know?
Oh, well, they'll collect them from everyone except the people who actually use them and go and attack people in shopping centres. They're the people who won't be handing them in. Would you reckon? You reckon there'd be any danger of that?
No, I wouldn't have thought that they will get too many handed in for those who, you know,
Now
are,
I've
are
got
quite.
now I've got a franchise that you might be interested in. There's a
Yep.
chain. There's a chain of. They're called ball barbers. They're in America. They are now. You go in and you can remove your pants and you have your agates shaved.
Yeah. Well, about time.
They're called ball barbers. They're shops, and you go in
Yeah.
and they have the. You can't just look in
Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Did you
in
say?
America. In America.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, that's
So you
well
have
over.
take your
That's
gear
well
off and they
overdue.
shave whatever they like, and you cut your pubic hairs off, and you can have different shapes signed, carved into your agates, and or your. I thought you might like to get involved in a franchise.
Oh, well, I've got nothing to take off.
That's right, because people keep going in, and then you can go
No,
for
you've got
weddings,
you've got
special
to
occasions.
Sam, that sort of stuff. Yeah, like I said, we many years ago here in Australia, there were men's salons that were doing that a long time ago. But the barber shops, I find it probably a little. Yeah, that's every bar. I'd assume not every barber shop's doing it in the states. Whereabouts in particular?
Not
New York.
every barber shop's now. It's a specific thing. You don't go in to have a haircut. You go in to have your pubic hairs cut.
Oh, so you can't get a haircut and a ball
No
cut.
shit. No, it's a specialised. It's called ball barbers. They're called ball
Ball
barbers.
barbers. Okay.
No,
Well,
you can't take
for all the
you can't take a young son or daughter in while to have her hair permed, and on the seat next to is a bloke with his stalk out having his agates shaved. No, you can't do that, duck. No,
well,
it's a specific industry.
imagine if you and Big Wadey had got onto that, you could have sold shampoo and that to
The
all the women.
couple of old gay icons wandering around the countryside back in the 70s. Thanks for calling us. What did you call us? You called us a couple of fairies or pansies. What did you call us?
Imagine you guys doing that, going around just selling the shampoo for the ladies and their perms, and then just getting the snip.
I noticed this. I wonder if you've ever done this. I see Abby Chatfield. She paid the paparazzi $1,000 to come and photograph, pretend that they just sprung her on the beach or somewhere to come and take photos of her. Would you ever pay anyone the paparazzi?
Oh,
How insecure can you be if you've got to pay the paparazzi to come and find you?
Abby that played for Collingwood.
Abby Chatfield. What is she?
Yeah, she played for Collingwood, I think.
She didn't play for fucking. She's a reality influencer, isn't she, or something? I don't know.
No, she was a netball. Oh.
She was on The Bachelor.
Oh, sorry, Jess has just given me an update here. She was what, on The Bachelor or something? Oh, right. No, yeah,
An influencer, but and you think, oh, there's a picture of her in the paper. Gee, they've sprung her on the beach. She's paid the paparazzi to make her famous.
must have looked good. Well, what's he paid
Bachelorette she was apparently.
Bachelorette.
Don't tell me you've stooped to that level to pay people to
She
come and
paid
take photos
$1,000.
of you, have you?
Unfortunately, Sam, I've had a couple of people that got paid to come and take photos of me, but I certainly haven't forked out any money ever.
No, that's it.
Nor would I.
And
Nor
if
would
you're
I.
confused, I tell you what, here's a good tip. If you're confused about your gender in this day and age, a good kick in the balls will sort that out for you. Yeah, if you're confused about whether you're a man or a woman, just get someone to kick you in the agates. That'll just give you the reality test. So I sit down up here. We talk about what you make show. There's a lot of football shows on. There's a lot of Farmer Wants a Wife. Have a listen to this. The Great Canadian Pottery Throwdown is on. It's starting. It's Canada's best amateur potters. they give them a lump of clay and a spinning wheel and they make a vase out of it. Could you make a show out of that?
Well, Ghost did with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. Started the movie, when they're making some pottery and they turned it into a sexual scene.
Well, did they? Well,
yeah, the Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't say the great Canadian pottery throwdown. A fair dinkum. Could you think of any more inane show to put on to captivate people? Speaking of making sexual objects, did you know that people have been throwing dildos onto the dildos to the women's basketball? What's it called? It's called the American basketball
in America,
WNBA. They've been throwing dildos onto the court during the games, and now all hell has broken loose. I don't know what the idea of throwing dildos onto but they said the flagging ratings have suddenly taken a turn for the better because people now have been tuning in to see if there's going to be any more dildos thrown onto the court. I don't know what it represents that you're throwing dildos onto the women's basketball court.
Oh, hang on, you're making out like it's a pandemic. How many people have done this?
Well, they've done it. It's happened 3 times, and they've arrested 2 people. They've followed up and arrested 2 people and asked them why they've thrown dildos onto the basketball.
Were they females that were throwing or males?
I think there was one of each. I think there was a male and a female. And
okay, so there's only been three. So you're not talking. It's not raining. It's not.
It's not
raining
dildos. It's not raining cocks. It might start to rain cocks, but people are now tuning in who hitherto haven't watched women's basketball to see if there's any more phallic symbols being thrown onto the court. And the women have been kicking them off as they land. They've been drop punting them away off into the sidelines, and they've had a press conference after, and someone said, oh, it's a bit, they said it's disgraceful. We're playing basketball and suddenly this dildo comes on and we have to kick it off, and the ratings have gone up exponentially. People are waiting for the dildos to come on. It's extraordinary, Duck. You think I'm making all this stuff up, but I'm not.
Probably, yeah. No one. Yeah, there's so many places you could go here, Sam. But given it's only been 3, they'll probably put a stop to it. They'll probably get rubber tested on the way into the ground.
No, well, they're searching them now. They don't search for machetes or guns or knives now. They're searching for dildos and butt plugs and bloody Jesus condom. I don't know, condoms for. I don't know what this. Now, what are you doing on August the 15th?
August the 15th?
Yeah.
Oh, let me have a look here. When's that? No, that's literally, tomorrow. Oh, Friday. Oh, right. Yes. Oh, I see.
Let me read out what you're doing.
Okay, tell me what I'm doing.
Yeah. Hang on, here we go. Carrie, hang on. Get it up the right way here. Come on, so get it up. Carrie, set for strip club encore. After fleeing the country in the wake of his alleged Iraq seller's toilet tryst, scandal-ridden AFL great Wayne Carey is set to make a public appearance at the raunchy Geelong strip club this week. Is that right?
Who wrote it? Tell me who wrote it.
Mandy Squires and Mark Murray.
Oh, Mandy. Yeah. Well, no. Well, I went.
Yeah. You haven't done an Abby Chatfield and paid Mandy $5,000 to say where you're going, have you?
Oh, is Mandy going to be there? Is she? Is she working?
I'm fucked by it. No, she's just written the article.
Okay, no, I did the opening. They did, yes. So there was an opening of this particular venue a while ago, Sam, and I had a bit of fun around it. And I said, well, it's a legal profession, and I'm going there to support the jobs of Geelong. So I am going down
Well,
there,
you're going there
and
to support the strippers.
no, I'm going to meet. There's a few men going along to the event.
The
They're
After
coming along
Dark Gentlemen's Club, which
today.
calls itself Adult Entertainment and features photos and videos
And
of
last time I
scantily
went,
clad women.
and last time I went, Sam, I said I'm only going to stay for about 8 hours.
Yeah, so let me. So you're going down. This is good. I like this. What, are you getting paid for this, or is this some perks on the
Uh,
side?
I'm being looked after to go down there. I'm looking forward to it. It's a very good venue, classy venue.
A classy
Very,
venue. Well, let me just
yes.
read how classy it is. The After Dark Gentlemen's Club, which calls itself an adult entertainment service provider, features photos and videos of scantily clad women on poles and performing X-rated acts. Sounds pretty
Yeah,
classy.
I think you'll find. Yeah, I think you'll find that that those women are highly skilled
Of course they are.
in that. Yeah, correct.
You wrap a
And
pole
you know
around your
what?
groin and try and
They're,
hang on. You've got to be pretty skilled
they're,
to do that.
this is just another way of creating jobs. Not everyone can be an accountant, Sam, or not everyone can be a gossip journalist. Not everyone can do that. These women are actually highly skilled, and
Duck, I'm with you. I'm 100% in agreement. Not everyone can be couple of old queens and go around the country selling hairdressing products.
exactly right, exactly right. So
So you're
no,
going down. So, geez, so that's on August the 15th. That's the
yes,
day
it
after
is,
tomorrow.
it is,
Did you know
it
you were
is
doing
actually.
it?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew. I just when you said August 15, it just threw me. I didn't realise we're
Yeah,
already
take
at
Cole
August.
and Carter down. Give them a night out. That might be interesting
Yeah,
for them.
probably a little more on the adult side, um, but but no, like I said, it's all about supporting local Geelong businesses that are creating jobs down there, and and like I said last time, it was very successful. So they've asked me to come back down, and they're doing another launch. So um, yeah, I said,
Well,
yep,
where
no
is it
worries.
actually? Where is the
In
venue?
Geelong, in
In
Geelong,
Geelong.
what's it called? Oh, hang on, Jess just told me. She knows what it is. She said it's called the Old Alley Cats. It's got the Old Alley Cats, but it's not called the Alley Cats anymore.
What street's it in? I'm familiar with Geelong.
Uh, what street's it in? Jess is just thinking about it.
Is Jess going
Anyway,
down with you?
uh,
Why don't you
no,
make
but
it a
she's not.
family affair?
Last
Take
time,
mum and the kids
time,
down.
no, well, funny, Sam. Last time, Jess dropped me off there, um, and I invited her brothers to come along, and they weren't allowed. They weren't allowed.
Oh, you're incorrigible. That's extraordinary. You make it a family day and take the kids and the missus down and
Yeah,
watch
no,
people
no.
upend themselves on poles with scantily clad women. And no, it's good. It's like of a
No,
swingers thing, is it?
no, JB silly. He's hang on, I'll show you something
Oh,
here. What's
I got it just a
no,
picture of it. Look, this is the picture.
Brad.
This is the advertising blurb. See that there?
Oh, they've got my picture right next to a butt.
Lots of
Yeah,
butts. You got your head in between a
yeah.
couple of cheeks there, Duck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a flyer. No, Brad, Brad.
Oh, fuck me.
Yes,
It's
no,
unbelievable.
Brad.
And you wonder
Down
why
there.
people write shit about you.
Oh, Sam,
No,
they're
it's
gonna
good.
they write
I wish
they
I, I
write
wish
shit
I
anyway.
was part of it.
Yeah,
I wish
yeah. No,
someone
I'm
had
not.
asked me to come down and
Mate,
open a strip joint.
mate, it's nothing illegal. We're down there.
Fantastic.
We'll do what we have to do. And as I said, I'll just be there the required time. I'll be there for about 8 hours.
Yeah. Oh, it's 28 Little Ryrie Street. We've got it. I think
Yeah, is
that's
that
what
it? Yeah.
K Rock's in. Isn't K Rock in Little Ryrie Street? That's the used to be 3GL. Maybe it's not.
I know.
A little
Yeah.
Irish.
Yeah.
That'll be
No.
good.
Well, I like I said, I've been there. Went there. How long ago was that, Jess?
What are you doing with your hand there, Duck,
Uh,
incidentally?
I was just cleaning these glasses.
No, it
Oh,
doesn't
what do you
look
think?
like doesn't look like that
'Cause
from here. Yeah, no, Duck. I thought maybe the strip club had got you in the mood and you were starting to just get excited. Holy shit! We're just watching that. I thought, what the duck doing? What the duck?
it's so funny. It's so funny though that you brought that up because I was sitting here and just while we're on air.
In the Herald Sun, duck.
Of
Today.
course it is, mate. Uh, we keep them in business.
We do.
That's you know
You
what
do.
this is why you know these you know this is why you know you because it's good publicity for the venue. It's a great venue, by the way, and it's a very classy venue.
Very
Good drinks.
classy. But
They
no, it
do
is
good
good. Yep.
drinks. Do all of that, yeah.
Do you have to have a do you have to have a sort of aesthetic appeal to get in? You can't be overweight or a porker, or you got to be over 18, do you?
I assume you've got to be definitely over 18, Sam,
And you got
to
to
go
look good.
in.
Would
I
there be
don't think probably the workers have to look good. I think a few of the patrons that have come in probably
no?
probably not look.
Is this where you stick notes, money down people's garters and that?
I think that sort of stuff went out with ABBA. That's old style.
What
You know,
sticking
I don't know. I
sticking
think I
$10 and
assume
$20 notes down
I
people's
think
garters?
yeah, you've been watching. I think does that still happen? Does it?
Well, the last time I went to one, it did.
Yeah. Well,
No, I've never
yeah. And
been to
you're
it.
80. No, of course you haven't.
Yeah,
Of course you haven't.
I was putting 2 bob coins down their dresses.
You're putting 10-cent pieces.
Yeah, little
You're
gold
putting 10
ingots.
cent pieces down, and they were just dropping out the bottom of the G string.
Ah, so tell me this, Duck. Just while we might as well cover everything. Snoop Dogg, he's coming out to the grand final. I want to ask you this. I've got 2 questions to ask you. Snoop Dogg. So he's coming out, and fair enough. They say, "Oh, why don't we get an Australian entertainer?" It doesn't matter at all. Do you think people go to the grand final to watch the entertainment at halftime? Do you
No.
care who entertains you at halftime at the grand final? Usually you want to go and have a bit of a rest and have a drink and then come back and take your seat up and watch the second half. Do you care who entertains you?
No. I think this is the thing that we're starting to fall into. Well, not fall, well, with the entertainment in particular. I like the fact that we have big acts. I think it just puts us on the world map. So I like that Snoop Dogg's coming because it promotes us in other parts of the world. So I think that from that point of view, it's great. But our game is the entertainment. The reason why NFL gridiron have to have entertainment is because the game is like a game of chess. It is boring,
Yes.
right? It is stop start. So it needs some pizzazz in the middle of the game to get the crowd going because unless you're an absolute lover of that game, there's not a lot. And basketball, and I love basketball and I love NFL and all that, but basketball, you can play the last 2 minutes of every game. So they need the dancing girls as well because that's the entertainment. I know they're great athletes, but our game is the entertainment.
I couldn't agree with you more, Duck.
Yep.
Now I want to ask you this question.
Yes.
And I know what the question. I know I'm asking it. And before the media watch and all the people say, before they get on to misunderstand what I'm saying, the Free Palestine people asked for a permit to walk across the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and there was 90,000 or so, and then. Same thing happened here at the King Street Bridge. Here, the Free Palestine, a political march about, what their political bent is. The white supremacists, they marched through Ballarat, or not Ballarat, I think they marched through Bacchus Marsh and walked through the city and were roundly condemned because they wanted to march for their cause, which is white supremacy. Why can't they? You can't be a little bit pregnant if you want to march in this democratic age. Why can't you march if you want to? If you are for white Australia, that's what they are. Why are you allowed to march for free Palestine?
Any type of hate march should be
Yes,
condemned.
that's
Any
correct.
type.
So why can one get a permit and the other can't?
Well, you're spot on. They should all be. They should all be tipped over the bridge.
That's right. They should all be banned. Why would you give a permit for one and not the other? And then people jump up and down.
You're spot on.
Yeah, so
Spot on.
Say I'm
So that's
encouraging white supremacy and I'm encouraging people to march. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just saying, how hypocritical is it that someone decides
they should be both stopped. Sam, simple. Did that answer your question? Now, are you going to be back by Friday? Do you want to come down to Geelong with me?
I tell you what, there's an airport. I'm at Roma at the minute. Roma. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. But there is an airport here. I might drive out after this and get a flight down.
Yeah.
But is there an age limit on how you can, is there an age limit on entry? Because I'm just approaching 80, and if the pump goes when I see some Sheila upend herself on a pole and the pump goes, I might sue the venue.
I think you might get entry for half price, but no,
Pensioners.
Pensioners. I reckon
Seniors.
I'll be able to get you in. I reckon.
Would it be? Do they have lap dances and stuff?
I would assume they do. Yeah.
Do they? See if you can book us a room. I wouldn't mind a lap dance. As long as I can sit down. I don't want to stand up.
Okay, well, you can't
go weak.
Stand up. You can't stand up at the minute anyway.
None of me can stand up. Now, Duck, so this is what we're doing. Now, we're announcing this today. Or do you want to come back, or we just do one segment here?
No, just do that, please. Yep.
Right. So we are announcing today that we're going to have a grand final breakfast type show at a venue. We will announce the venue, but it's called, if you want to register, and you can go to a website. Sue's standing next to me. What?
An email.
You go to an email address called YCBS. You Cannot Be Serious podcast at gmail.com. YCBS podcast at gmail.com, and you can register to come along to a live podcast that you and I will do. It costs $2,500, and if you indicate that you want to come, do it smartly, because once we're limiting it to 20 people. If you want to come along and you're in the first 20, we'll send you an invoice and you can send the remittance in to us. But don't think about it. If you want to come, do it, because once we've sold 20 tickets, we're not going to sell any more. It's a tax deduction if you want to come and speak about your business, and you might have to deal with me asking you some questions a la street talk type stuff about who you are and what you're doing. We will provide Ralph's Meats, Smeatsy. We're going to get the meats from the Ralph's Meats from the South Melbourne market. He indicated he might like to come, but that doesn't matter. We're going to buy the meat from Ralph's Meats, and we're going to hydrate you with all the best wines and alcohol that you would like. And you'll have the duck there, and you'll have me there, and Sue will be there doing, and you might bring your friend Dylan along, and we can work out how we can have people ring in and ask you questions, because it'll be a live streaming thing. And that's what we're going to do. Have I missed anything else out, Sue, that I should be mentioning? No, just go to YCBS podcast at gmail.com and register. And the first 20 we'll give you, I know what we'll do, we're giving you a jumper each.
Geelong jumper.
a
and a North
jumper with
Melbourne
your
jumper.
stats on it, a North Melbourne jumper, and you will sign it in front of the people so that you'll know it's your signature. And you can have a jumper of mine, which will have a Geelong and a proper jumper with my stats, and I will sign it. And you'll get one of those. Each person will get one of those each, and you can do it. You might flog it on eBay. You can do what you like with it, but we'll give you those. And we're going to do that on grand final morning. We're going to do it from about 10 a.m. till about 1 a.m., but till 1 p.m., no, not 1 a.m., 10 till 1, that could be flexible. Just depends on how many people want to stay or want to move on. But we will certainly, and you can come and, if you've got a business, come and speak about it and speak to the duck. And that's what we're doing on grand final morning. So
Get in fast, because I've already got people that have that now that you've got the address, already got people that are keen to go straight away.
So what?
Get in fast.
I have a few too. So if you want to come, you would want to register pretty smartly, because once there's 20, we're not doing any more, and that's the idea of it. So it's an intimate gathering, and we'll have a television, and you're going to tell me, I think, where the venue is, aren't you? We have 2-3 venues in mind, but you were going to tell me, we'll announce that, but we just need people to register, and then we will tell them where it is. It'll be in the city somewhere. It'll be in the Melbourne, Port Melbourne somewhere, I think.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep, correct. Middle Park or Port Melbourne.
Well, that's right. Righto. So that's what's happening now. This is finally. Did you know Jason Dunstall is going to be inducted into the Sport Australia Hall of Fame?
Is he? That's good.
Yes, he is. He is. That's been, and a couple of others too. But reason I'm asking you this. Do you know how you get inducted? You have to be nominated by someone who is already a member of the Australian Sports Hall of Fame. You can't be nominated by... So Sue is a member of the Australian Sport Australia Hall of Fame. Sport Australia Hall of Fame. Sue is a member of that because she's in it. Yep. She could nominate you, Duck. She could nominate.
Could she? What about nominate you?
Yeah, no, I know that. But if Jason Dunstall is in, because he was one of the great goal kickers and the great footballers, and actually you'd go along to the football to watch Jason Dunstall play football, because you think he would be a great player to watch, because they kick the ball down to him, and he's a very good kicker at goal. Why wouldn't you could be inducted? You could be nominated.
Yeah, I'm not at the highest, not on my list to be worrying about being inducted into Hall of Fame. Sam.
No, but it's not up to you. It's not up.
I've got a 6-year-old. I've got a 6-year-old here crying at me to get him to school.
All right, Duck. Well, I got a feeling that's why we're winding it up, are we?
He just said, "Yeah, that." He said, "I don't want to go to school." Luckily, we're just putting him in a New York school, just
And Nat Fyfe is winding it up at the end of the year. I spent a weekend over at Lake Grace, his property over there, for the footy show. What a marvellous man Nat Fyfe is, and his family. You listening to any of this, Duck?
Yes, I am. And this kid's throwing little soccer balls. What are you doing?
Okay. Well, there.
Sorry, Nat Fyfe. Can I just say, Nat Fyfe has been an absolute superstar. Unfortunately for him, the last few years, injury, body letting him down. But let's not forget how good he was for that period of time. He's a star.
He is. And while we're just saying that the AFL have got Snoop Dogg, could the AFL rescind the decision to ban Warwick Capper for 5 years for something that wasn't even directed at the person, just a complete show of bravado and projection by the AFL? And
what about Usher? Usher got rejected to come over here and do his concert. Usher, yeah.
Why?
Jess had tickets to go to Usher, and
why did he get banned?
Not allowed to come. Don't know.
What about P Diddy? What about
Shut up.
What's Puff Daddy? What's it? Who's the bloke that oiled up all the girls and has got in jail? He bought litres of baby oil.
No, he's no. Anyway, Snoop Dogg. Like I said, at least it puts us on the world stage. Americans will watch because of Snoop Dogg. Oi,
So why
calm
don't you
down.
now go? Why don't you take the kids and Jess and sit down and watch the Great Canadian Pottery Throwdown?
That's
Amateur
exactly what I
people
do.
with irregular shaped bodies and faces making vases at a pottery wheel. How you could do that is beyond me. You can do that. Thank you, Duck. Say goodbye now. That's it. That's
All
from me.
right.
You cannot be serious. And if you want to
Thank you,
join us,
Snoop.
go to YCBS podcast at gmail.com. Duck?
Sorry, mate.
Fuck off, Duck, for God's sake. Fuck me, dude. It's like
Hey,
it's fucking like feeding day at
what?
the zoo. Duck, we're going now.
He's going berserk. All right, so you'll load that. I'll keep it on, Sue.
Yeah.